Hello and welcome to Cần Thơ News of Cần Thơ Radio and Television Station. Here are today's headlines. The Standing Committee of Cần Thơ City Party Committee held its regular meeting in July. Chairman of Cần Thơ City People Committee had a meeting and worked with the investors from Hong Kong. The Civil Aviation Administration of Vietnam requires units to officially implement the use of Level 2 of VNeID. Top news today. In July, the Standing Committee of Cần Thơ City Party Committee continued to effectively lead the construction of the party and the political system, focusing on taking care of people with meritorious services and policy families on the occasion of War Invalids and Martyr Day on 27th of July.
According to estimates, the Industrial Production Development Index rose 18.21% over the same period. As of July 25th, the region's entire budget revenue was 8,035 billion Vietnam dong, exceeding the City People's Council's estimate by more than 47%. As of July 27, the capital construction investment disbursement total more than 5,000 billion Vietnam dong, or 47% of the original target. Mr. Nguyễn Văn Hiếu, the secretary of the Cần Thơ City Party Committee, asked the Standing Committee to concentrate on organizing and leading the party's midterm preliminary meeting. In terms of the economy, pay attention to achieving goals, especially budget revenue, and ensure capital to carry out important initiatives, restructuring administrative processes, upholding strict performance standards for official duties, and resolving issues to improve the business environment and encourage investment and production expansion. At the same time, calling for new investment in visible industrial park, technological port, amusement parks, tourist services, large commercial and service centers to create a driving force for the city's development in the future.
On August 2nd, Mr. Chương, chairman of Cần Thơ City People Committee, had a meeting and worked with investors of Global Partnership Company from Hong Kong. The chairman of the city briefly introduced Cần Thơ, in which the city is implementing a chain of transport infrastructure development projects such as the Ho Chi Minh City Cần Thơ Railway Line, Ho Chi Minh City Cà Mau Expressway, Châu Đốc Cần Thơ Sóc Trăng Expressway. Global Partnership Company representatives stated that they were looking for chances for collaboration, investment, and growth in Cần Thơ, and that they were particularly interested in the projects, urban areas, infrastructures, and the life insurance industry. According to Mr. Chương, the city always welcomed partners' investments in projects, industrial parks, warehouses, product transshipment and logistic facilities, construction and infrastructure development fields in the city. Cần Thơ City Department of Industry and Trade has just worked with businesses in Cái Răng District to remove difficulties in production and business activities in the first 6 months of this year.
VNeID Philip Morris Company Limited generated a total income of 433.6 billion Vietnam dong in the first 6 months of this year, or about 50% of the projected amount. In the previous 6 months, Thuận Hưng Company Limited achieved 500 tons of seafood with a revenue of 36 billion Vietnam dong. The revenue of Agile Veterinary Medicine Company Limited in the first 6 months of the year only reached 35% of the plan. Nevertheless, the international market generated 55% of the plan. In order for the business to construct an investment project to increase the production area, VNeID Philip Morris Company Limited recommended to hasten the adjustment of the investment certificate to the functional units. Thuận Hưng Company Limited wants to assist the connection in obtaining loans so that they can invest in increasing production. The Department of Industry and Trade will issue a written request to the City Electricity Company, specifically for Agile Veterinary Medicine Company Limited, to ensure that the power supply is maintained so that the company's production and the commercial operations are not disrupted.
In the first 6 months of 2023, the business activities of Cần Thơ Lottery achieved quite positive results, This was stated at the preliminary meeting held on August 2nd. Attending the meeting was Mr. Nguyễn Văn Hồng, Vice Chairman of Cần Thơ City People Committee. The report states that Cần Thơ Lottery One Member Limited Liability Company issued sales during the first half of the year total 3,200 billion Vietnam dong, with a pre-tax profit of 370 billion Vietnam dong. Along with business activities, the company also reorganized a number of fields of cooperation and joint ventures, including rearranging the house and land of the guest house, Victoria Cần Thơ Private Limited Company, and Mekong Petroleum Joint Stock Company's divestiture of joint venture capital. Speaking at the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Văn Hồng, Vice Chairman of the City People Committee, directed leaders of Cần Thơ Lottery Company to continue paying attention to promoting the implementation of the restructuring project, at the same time, maintain effective business operations in the coming time. On August 2nd, the Religious Affairs Board of the city celebrated the 15th anniversary of the establishment of the Religious Affairs Board under the Department of Home Affairs and 68 years of the traditional day of state management and religion, August 2nd, 1955, August 2nd, 2023.
Over the years, the Committee for Religion has actively advised the Steering Committee for Religion, Ethnic Affairs, and the People's Committee of the city to perform the function of state management of beliefs, religion, guiding dignitaries, officials, and followers of religions to conduct religious activities in accordance with tradition, with the law, and adhere to the authorities at all levels. Actively participate in local economic, cultural, and social development activities. On this occasion, 10 individuals received medals, and 7 individuals and 1 collective were awarded certificates of merit from the Department of Home Affairs for their contributions to the state's management of religions and beliefs from 2008 to 2023.
Starting from August 2nd, the Civil Aviation Administration Vietnam requires agency and units to officially implement the use of Level 2 of Electronic Identification Accounts VNeID for passengers traveling on domestic flights at airports across the country. For Vietnamese citizens, VNeID is equivalent to a citizen identity card. For foreigners, VNeID is equivalent to a passport or international travel documents. The Civil Aviation Administration of Vietnam requires airports, airlines, and aviation service providers about check-in procedures to update the above provisions in the program and regulations on aviation security and related documents. The units actively address challenges and barriers during deployment to allow passengers to fly, guaranteeing security and safety, report to the department on issues beyond their authority. The Department of Culture, Sport and Tourism of Cần Thơ City has recently summarized youth football training from 2014 to 2022 and task orientation from 2023 to 2030. Young football players in the city had a difficult time being trained, especially because of the coaching staff did not fulfill the standards. Youth team in the city competed in national competitions, but the outcome fell short of expectation. The Cần Thơ City People Committee will receive advice from the city sports sector soon on how to improve young football in Cần Thơ City by 2030. Mr. Nguyễn Thực Hiện, Vice Chairman of the City People Committee, emphasized that it is crucial to focus on the coaching staff that is strong enough to handle the training of athletes at all levels, encouraging internal resources in the growth of physical training and sports. There needs to be a clear plan for the major task between now and 2030, especially with a football team competing in the National First Division. Put energy into constructing standardized facilities, fostering social consensus, and supporting the local football movement. Coming up next is the weather forecast. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.